All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever really stopped to think about how something as complex as an animal is actually built? I mean, it seems impossibly complicated, right? But here's the thing, nature uses this incredibly elegant and logical blueprint. Today, we're going to break down that very blueprint, looking at the structural organization that scales all the way from a single cell to a complete functioning creature.
So let's start with the big question. How do you build an animal from scratch? I mean, where would you even begin? With the bones? The skin? Well, it turns out the answer is way more fundamental, and it all starts with a simple, scalable plan.
And here it is. The secret is all about hierarchy. Life organizes itself in levels, starting with the absolute smallest functional unit, the cell. From there, cells team up to become tissues, tissues come together to form organs, and organs work together in organ systems. It's like a ladder of life, and we're about to climb it, step by step.
So let's just call this what it is, life's organizational ladder. Seriously, if you can grasp this progression, you've got the key to understanding all of animal biology, from something simple like an earthworm all the way up to us.
Okay, so these four levels are absolutely crucial. The best way to think about it is like building a house. The cellular level, those are your individual bricks, the most basic building blocks. Then you have the tissue level. That's when you put those bricks together to form a wall. Next up, the organ level. Here, you're arranging the walls to create a functional room, like a kitchen. And finally, the organ system level. That's like the house's plumbing and electrical systems, the stuff that connects all the rooms so they can actually work together as a whole. Right, so now we're taking our first big step up that ladder. We're moving from individual cells to the tissues they form. You can think of these as the four fundamental fabrics that make up an animal's body. So what even is a tissue? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just a team of cells. They all share a similar structure, and they've all grouped together to do one specific job. It's really the first great example of teamwork at the cellular level. And in the animal kingdom, there are four main types of this fabric. You've got epithelial tissue, which covers everything, connective tissue, which supports it all, muscular tissue, which, you guessed it, lets things move, and nervous tissue, which controls the whole show. Covers, supports, moves, controls. Pretty easy to remember. Let's see what they look like. Over on the left, we have epithelial tissue. Think of this stuff as the body's wallpaper and its protective coating. It lines your organs, like your digestive tract, and it makes up your skin. And on the right, that's muscular tissue. It's made of cells that are absolute masters of contraction. This is what lets you walk, what makes your heart beat, and what churns the food in your stomach. Now for the other two. On the left, we've got connective tissue. This is probably the most diverse group. It's basically the body's framework. It includes everything from solid bone to liquid blood, all providing support and connection. And then there's nervous tissue, made of cells like the neuron you see on the right. This is the body's high-speed internet, sending electrical signals to communicate and control every single thing you do. Okay, so we've got our four fabrics. But, a pile of fabric doesn't do much on its own. The next step up the ladder is to actually assemble these tissues into functional units. So, it's time to talk about organs. And this is where things get really interesting. See, an organ isn't just made of one type of tissue. It's a complex structure built from at least two, and usually all four, working in concert. Take the heart, for example. It's got muscular tissue to pump, nervous tissue to control the rhythm, epithelial tissue to line its chambers, and connective tissue holding it all together. It's a team effort. And that brings us to the very top of our ladder, organ systems. This is where multiple organs coordinate to carry out the big, essential functions for the body. To really see how this all comes together, let's use the digestive system as our case study. So what we're looking at here is basically a highly sophisticated disassembly line. The digestive system is really just one long tube, often called the alimentary canal, that starts at the mouth and ends at the other end. Its one major goal: to take the food you eat and break it down into tiny molecules your body can actually use for energy and growth. The entire process can be broken down into four key jobs. First up is ingestion. That's just getting the food in. Then digestion, the breaking it down part. Third is absorption, pulling all those good nutrients into the body. And finally, egestion, getting rid of what's left over. Now, that third step, absorption, is where some truly amazing biological design comes into play. This is a perfect example of form following function. To absorb as many nutrients as you possibly can, you need a massive surface area. So the inner wall of the small intestine isn't smooth at all. It's covered in millions of these tiny, finger-like projections called villi.
This design trick massively increases the space available for absorption. It's just an incredible piece of biological engineering.
And if we zoom in even further, you'll see that inside every single one of those villi is a tiny transportation network. It's packed with little blood vessels called capillaries and a special lymph vessel called a lacteal. So the second nutrients pass through the intestine wall, they're immediately picked up by this network and whisked away to the rest of the body. Super efficient.
And this isn't just a free-for-all. There's a very clear system for where each nutrient goes. The breakdown products from carbs and proteins, that's glucose and amino acids, they go directly into the blood capillaries. But fats, which are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol, they take a different route. They go into the lymphatic system through those lacteals. And why? Well, because they aren't water-soluble. So they need this special pathway to get processed before they hit the bloodstream. It's a beautifully organized distribution system.
So after that pretty deep dive, let's pull all the way back out and just appreciate the big picture for a second. We've just journeyed from a single cell all the way to this complex system built for absorbing nutrients.
And here's the key takeaway, this incredible efficiency. You have cells forming tissues, tissues building organs, and organs cooperating in systems. Each level builds logically and functionally on the one right before it. This isn't just some random collection of parts. It's a deeply interconnected and really elegant design for life itself. And what's wild is that the same blueprint is responsible for building every animal on the planet. Which leads me to a final thought for you. Is there one level that's more critical than all the others? Is it the cell, the fundamental unit? Or maybe the organ system, the thing that keeps the whole organism running? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this one.